It's rooted in straight slavery. It's rooted in how we were taught to look at each other, what we were taught to believe is the standard of beauty, right? It has to be close to white. It's fucking possible. And it's so sad that we adopt that shit and we double down on it. On the matter of pretty privilege, I think it's time that our community has a conversation around this, because I can remember growing up in the 90s and really just seeing that, epitome of beauty was always this light-skinned girl. She was usually racially ambiguous. She, probably biracial with, if she has curly hair, it's really long, loose curls, that girl, right? And I remember coming up and I was like, oh my God, I wanted my hair. Like if I was gonna wear my curls, because back then that was not the thing to wear, natural hair like that. We were wearing perms and stuff. And so anyway, I would be like, man, I want my curls to look like that, but that wasn't the time frame we were in. Unless she was about to put a Jerry curly head or something like that. And so from that, I remember, like my grandma I was raised by my grandma. My grandma was always very big on, you need to, yeah, you pretty and all, but you need to have more going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, what else you got going on? She was really on me, always making me stay in, I used to get all the awards, principals list, all the good grades, all them things like that, because I was just always taught you had to have more going on than just what you look like, And, I kind of just, when I was looking and even talking about this whole, Raymond Brown thing where Usher kissed the girl off a stage or whatever, and her response basically to people just like, y'all got pretty privilege, blah, blah, blah. Y'all hoes could never, and I mean, I guess she's clapping back at what people have to say, and her clapback is basically, y'all ugly. Y'all could never. You don't know anything about this life. I'm too pretty and y'all don't know shit about this. Y'all could never or whatever. And I was just, I guess what really got me was the people who are like, basically who have adopted this kind of way of thinking, this is a thing, and we're going to talk about where this comes from, right? Mirroring the master. But, basically they're basically kind of agreeing with her. Like, she said what she said, and if you have anything else to say about it, I guess, the argument is, oh, well, you ugly. You don't look like her. So you don't know, you so ugly. So that's why you would say that. What? What? Or people like, she's, agreeing with her because she is pretty. And then thus, I guess, further indoctrinating the pretty privilege or whatever, so it's like, damn, as a community, we really will let people gaslight us in that way. Of course, the guys, you got men who are like, yeah, she's beautiful and you could never, she can do what she did because she's pretty and and it's like, oh my God, it's so deeper than just that. It's deep. It's rooted in straight slavery. It's rooted in how we were taught to look at each other, what we were taught to believe is the standard of beauty, right? It has to be close to white. It's fucking possible. And it's so sad that we adopt that shit and we double down on it. And if anybody has anything to say about it, it's like, oh, well, you ugly anyway, so that's why you saying this. That's crazy, right? Whatever the thoughts may be. But man, let me shout out the smart girls for a second. Let me shout out the girls who may never be pulled on stage, can step, will step, go show up, know how to look good, all them damn things. You know what I mean? But it's like, that's not the epitome of life for them. That is not the highest quality. That is not the highest value for them. That is not what makes them them. They are so much more than that. Those are the women I'm talking to. The women that got so much more than just being pretty going on. Like, yeah, you pretty, but baby, that's just what? Shit, you ain't even seen all the other stuff. Like, what? This is crazy. And so I just needed to speak on this in this moment, just to kind of like, I don't know, it's time to have a conversation about that. It's time to have a conversation about our standards of beauty, what we believe is beauty. And yes, of course, that's what the entertainment industry is going to pull on stage. Yes, of course, because that's what the entertainment industry pushed in our face forever, right? What they believe is beauty, and that comes from, again, white standards and trying to be accepted in those standards. Right? Trying to do what you need to do. And so, we're trying to rock the boat. Yeah, we want to bring a black girl, but we can't make her too black. Okay? She can't be too black, but she can be black. So, yay team, one for us. We got a black person, but gotta dodge a bullet with all them other, them type of black people. So, it's, and then to double down and just kind of, I guess clap back where it's like, hey, yeah, I'm pretty. Yeah, you're ugly. Yeah, what you got? And have people like, yeah, she said what she said. She said what she said. As if that actually justifies any fucking thing. Shout out to my grandma, man. I'm glad she rooted that shit in me. Because, baby, I'm telling you, like, if that's all you got to offer, especially in this economy, I'm always having to be, you know, that what I'm offering is beauty, and usually it's for a man to behold, and for that man to behold me and then be able to, I don't know, finance my life or some shit. I don't know. And you know, Issa Rae really does good. Like, I love her. I love Issa Rae so much. She really does so good in telling our stories and dealing with some of those things that we're dealing with in our communities that we don't really want to talk about, but is an issue. Rap City, right, on HBO Max. Go watch it. It deals with the whole light skin, dark skin thing. And then you even got this light skin rapper, girl who's trying to rap, but she's like trying to be like a rapper. She ain't trying to do like, you know, all the sexy, provocative type stuff. She wants you to like respect her for what she got in her mind versus how she look, and then, you know, finally then trying to just get her music heard and giving in. And then so it's just, you know, and then even with Issa Rae picking her, with her being a thicker light skinned girl, not a really skinny light skinned girl. I mean, it's just, it's layers. And her friend is a dark skinned girl, and you know, she's like the very much, you know, she does, what does she do? She has a child, and she's depicted as doing OnlyFans. I think she do lashes, you know what I'm saying? And she's trying to do the fun hip stuff, you know, like yeah, songs that don't make, you know, they ain't got no deeper meaning, but they saying blah 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 blah, you know what I'm saying? And it's like opening the door for conversations in our community. What no longer serves us, y'all? What no longer serves us, right? And what no longer serves us, we don't have to abide by no more, right? We don't have to do that shit anymore. It's like, you know, and I know, you know, this girl probably young. I don't know nothing about her. I ain't got nothing against her personally. This is this way of thinking in general that needs to be talked about. So since y'all still here, I told y'all early voting is going on right now, right? And so we got the governors. These are people running for governor. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. You got them. All right, you got them. Now, we got these people. They running for Congress. Boom.
Okay, so this is on the Tennessee Secretary of State page. You can just go and see everybody who's running. This is everybody running for the U.S. Senate. And then just go back and go look at everyone who is running for the U.S. House. It's a lot of people depending on which district you are in. It's just the primaries. And so we're trying to figure out who is going to be the actual one who wins the nomination.
All right, so here's the kicker. We're just in the primary, so we're trying to figure out who is going to be the candidate for each party that goes to the November election, right? So that means that you get out here and vote for your person, but if they do not win, I need you to be smarter and have a bigger strategy than just saying, oh, my person didn't win, I'm not going to vote. I don't want to get behind anybody else. Fuck all that. We in Tennessee, we need a strategy, all right? So we're going to get behind the candidate, whoever is not on a kissing ass of the current administration that is literally wiping out all of our rights, who is literally launching attacks on Tennessee, and the governor who, if they are in cahoots with him, are going to continue to do so. So we got to have strategy that is longer than just 1 year. Now we're older, we know what to do, we know how to hold them accountable, and we know how to get their asses out of there and put somebody else in place, right? So we are the ones who are having to take on this shit now. So glad y'all stayed. Get your asses out here, go early vote. Election day is on, you see, right here, right? Get out and vote. And then let's have this conversation again in September when it's time to start preparing for that general election after we know who won. All right? Okay, cool. Talk to y'all later. Bye.